and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Today I'm going to take you through not one, not two, not even 3, 4, 5 or 6, but 7 different ways that you can create a colouring book to sell on Amazon KDP. Not only can you do that, but you can also actually sell just the individual colouring pages over on Etsy, and plenty of people are doing that and making good money from it. So without further ado, let's head over to the computer right now. So first up, I'm going to take you through a completely free way to create a colouring book. And this is by using the Canva Basic program. If you use my link in the description below, you can actually get a 30-day free pro trial. So you could do that and then downgrade. It's not to say that the images in the free version are worse, but you definitely get more choice if you go for the pro version. So I'm just coming over and hitting custom size, and I'm going to set this book up to be an A4 page size. So this is 8.5 by 11.75 inches. And this then allows for a 0.25 trim size. And then we'll hit create design. So now that the page is all loaded up, what I'm going to do is come across to elements. And I want to create an adult colouring book. And I was thinking something along the lines of a flower colouring book, something aimed at females, maybe something around empowerment as well. So I'm just going to first type in line drawing flowers and just have a look at the images that come up. Now remember, today I'm going to be using only the free pictures. So the free ones are the ones without the crowns. The crowns mean that you have to have a pro membership. Now I really love this image, and I think this is something that could be really popular. So you've got the female form, the flowers in there, it's line drawing, it's artistic, it's really beautiful. And we can adjust the image, make it our own by adding in other elements. So now I'm just having a look through some of the other images that might go well with it. So by looking at the magic recommendations, that's a really great way to find. So I've hit add page and I've found another image here, which, as you can see, just kind of goes along with the theme. I'm putting it central, but I'm not too worried at the moment about the composition. We'll sort that bit out a little bit later. Adding in another page, I found another image that I think could go really well. However, actually, when I see it up close, that didn't work and it didn't really feel like it fit with the aesthetic of the picture. So now I'm going to keep searching through and see if I can find anything else that might fit a little bit better. This one here, that looks good. So let's take a look and see how that fits with it. So yeah, that one there, that fits the aesthetic far, far better. And I think that's essentially what makes a good book with whatever it is you're doing, whether you're doing the children's illustrations or activity books. By getting your images more cohesive, it creates a far more professional and pleasing product. So now I'm just going to go through and just start adjusting the images so they fit the pages a little bit better. So now it's time to start making the images and the colouring pages a little bit more our own. And the reason that I'm going to do this is just to ensure that there is no infringement within any kind of copyright laws and regulations. Canva basically say that you can use any of these images, but they cannot just simply be uploaded and then sold. Therefore, if we were selling this as an individual colouring sheet, then we would definitely be infringing on the copyrights. However, I am putting it together as a book, so I'm a little bit unclear, but nonetheless, I am going to adapt it and make it my own. What I'm kind of thinking is firstly to add in some text so that perhaps I can put some kind of strong woman affirmations in. So as you can see, I've simply typed out the word strong, and now I'm going to have a look through the fonts and see if I can find something to make it look like, again, it could be coloured in. That's kind of what I'm after. I'm looking for a text that is quite bold, that is quite strong, and is going to match the image. So here I found this free text, which is called Horizon Outline. And as you can see, it's just basically given me an outline to the word. And this is absolutely ideal if you are creating a colouring book, because now the words can be coloured in as well. So now I'm just playing about resizing it, and I'm just going to try and pop it down at the bottom of the page. I think it just frames it really nicely. I think the line on this needs to match the picture a little bit better. So I'm going to just edit the text just to give it a bolder outline. So I hit effects and just hit hollow there. And as you can see, it's giving it a much stronger outline. It makes it look much bolder. And that's exactly what I'm after. I'm just going to copy and paste that onto my next image, just so that the font is exactly the same. So I'm using Control C and then Control V, and again onto the third page. Now I am only showing you the 3 pages just so that the video doesn't go on for hours and hours, but you'll get the idea definitely, and you'll understand how to put this book together. So assertive, again, really strong word. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm keeping the words within the trim size. So the trim size is the first grey line towards the edge of the page. So everything needs to be kept within that space. And now again, I'm just going to copy and paste that into the next page and change the wording yet again. One thing that I especially love about Canva is how, as you're resizing everything, that it gives you all these different guidelines. So you can make sure that everything is perfectly lined up, that your image is, central in the page, and it just makes it all very clear. You don't have to spend hours and put up rules and guides, and it just does it all for you. Which, if you don't have that design background or that natural eye for detail, it just makes it so much better. Now that I've got the words in, I can start to really maximize the image on the page and start to make everything look much more natural, much more fluid. As you can see, it's already really starting to come together, but I feel as though I could do with a few additional flourishes. So I'm thinking I'm going to stick with kind of the flower theme and see if I can find some similar kind of pictures that I can add in, and they can be coloured just to make it look a little bit more, because this might be a bit too basic of a colouring book for an adult. Now, whilst I'm searching through for some more images to go on these pages, please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It helps these videos spread out across YouTube. I'd also love to hear from you, so please make sure you leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear where you are in your KDP journey. Don't forget, with these colouring pages, you can also actually sell them as digital downloads across Etsy, eBay, and all you then need to do is send people the link, so then they can simply download and print at home. This is a great way to really maximize your profits. All you're really spending is time. This costs absolutely nothing to create these pages. So now I'm just going through, I've found a few of these lovely flowers, and I'm just seeing if I can resize them and place them around just to kind of strengthen the picture, give a little bit more interest, but also bearing in mind that these are still designed to be coloured in. So everything kind of just needs to feel right. And as you can see, I'm just kind of playing around with it. And what I would say is that if at first you don't succeed, try, and definitely try again. You can create really amazing things. And, you know, because of how it is in a video, you know, if I was creating this to actually really sell, then I would be spending a lot more time. But already I feel as though this image is looking stronger. I feel as though it's really starting to work. It's really starting to come together. There is just a nice bit of balance, and you can really play around with it. I mean, I would have thought about perhaps doing some backgrounds as well. So now I'm going to go on to the next page and essentially do a very similar thing. However, I feel as though on this image, there's already quite a lot of detail. She's already got the flowers on her neck. We've got the butterfly. So I'm going to have a look for something perhaps a little bit different and maybe something more that will frame the image rather than, you know, add to it. I think that might work better in this instance. Oh, perhaps like a nice background or something. I'm not too sure how this will work, but let's give it a go and see how it goes. So I'll need to push this to the back, although I'm already feeling as though this image is perhaps a bit too powerful. You just can't see the actual image through. And that's absolutely fine. You know, it's just about playing around. So now, okay, that hasn't worked. I'll delete it and try again. So now I'm thinking perhaps I'll go back to my initial idea of an image that can just kind of frame it. Sometimes you get like the really nice wreaths. Obviously, because of the composition of the picture, I want to kind of create my own style wreath. So let's see what we can find. So as you can see, that one there is a free version. At the moment, it's a bit too big for the picture and also perhaps at the wrong angle. So I'm going to change that to 90 degrees and just resize and see how that goes. So yeah, I really like this picture. I think it's looking quite good. And now if I duplicate it and I can flip it over onto the other side. Should have flipped that vertically, not horizontally. There we go. And now let's just pop that over the other side. So it's still a little bit too big, so we'll make that smaller. And then obviously I want to match this one out to it. So Canva, as you can see, is giving me that guide once it's the same size. And it's telling me how to keep it in line. So I think that does look really nice. Just see if I can see anything else that I think could possibly go with it. So as you can see, there are just so many different options to choose from. You are literally spoilt for choice. I just found these really lovely. I think they're daffodils, possibly lilies, but it's, yeah, they're just so beautiful. So again, I'm just resizing them and I'm going to try and balance the picture out by putting the same image on either side. So I'm going to just hit that duplicate button and then just drag that across to the other side of the image. Just try and balance it out. And again, I think it just kind of completes the picture a little bit. Ties it all together. I think that looks really good. So now we're going to head over onto the third and final image. I had an idea here to perhaps include maybe some birds, as in kind of, you know, like the, I guess it's kind of maybe quite late 90s, like the bird tattoos and things that used to be quite common. However, I didn't really find the right kind of thing, so I quickly moved on to animals. I found this lovely lion, which I really liked as kind of like a shoulder tattoo, and then had this idea to kind of have these flowers just coming up the neck. And I thought that looked really beautiful. And as you can see, it's just playing around with the angle, the position, and trying to get it to all look right. But the lion was definitely a bit jarring for me. I felt like it was a bit too big. And I'm just trying to make all these flowers just fit really, really nicely together until I kind of feel really happy, which I think now it's really, and I'm so happy with it. So as you can see, as we scroll through, it definitely looks as though it's starting to come together. The pages all look very cohesive, and you can see that there is a definite theme running through. Now you could continue along this trajectory with the faces and the flowers coming across. So that is our completely free way. Now obviously you can use the pro version and you would have access to far more line drawings. But now I'm going to take you over to Creative Fabrica and show you here how you can use that in order to create colouring books. Now, there is one problem with using Creative Fabrica, I think, and that is that multiple people may have downloaded the same images as you. So just in this search bar here, I'm just typing in colouring pages, and as you can see, it's bringing up over 80,000 search results, and there are so many different themes and topics. What I like to do is find a few different downloads that kind of fit a theme, like perhaps you see here that nice fairy picture, but I might combine it with another book that perhaps matches with it, and then that way it gives you a more bespoke book. But as you can see, the quality of these colouring pages is so good. The people that are designing these pages, they're not messing around. They are making them absolutely exquisite. So when you're doing your adult colouring books, I would definitely recommend having a look here. By looking through as well, you can also see how many different themes and topics are covered. And it covers literally every single age group. It's just absolutely incredible, the array that we have. So as Valentine's is just in a few weeks, I'm thinking to have a look for some Valentine themed colouring pages. And here we go. I've just found this one with 100 different pages. And what I want to show you is just how quick and easy this is. So you can see just by looking at these front pictures here, it's definitely adult themed. You know, it's going to be too advanced for a child. So this book here does include the commercial license. So whilst you are a member of Creative Fabrica, you could download and resell these images. So this probably is the simplest method of all. So what we're going to do first of all is just come over here and we're going to hit the download button. So now that's downloading, what we're going to do, we're going to come across and head back into Canva. So we're going to go back to our colouring pages, and now I'm just going to drag and drop all those downloaded pages over into the upload section. So there we go, that's all downloading right now. So here we go, you can see here that Canva has created a file with the 100 pictures in it. So now all we need to do is just drag and drop them across onto our colouring book pages. So because I hadn't removed my other pictures, it's just asking me to replace all the pages, which I've hit yes for. And so that's still on the A4 page, but actually I'm just going to resize this because this will obviously look so much better on a squarer page. So what I'll do is just make it into a square page, so 8.5 by 8.5, and now that's opening up a new tab. There we go, that looks so much better. And then we can just resize it so it fits the page a little bit better. So because we've resized, it has pulled the images across for us. And now it's just about making them look more aesthetically pleasing, really. So even though here I'm not going to do too much to these pictures, this image here, I think it could really benefit from perhaps a frame. So what I'm going to do is just go to Elements, hit Line, and then I'm just going to resize it basically around the picture. So just popping it in place and extending it out. And then I'm just going to duplicate that line, and then I can drag that now down to the bottom. Put that in place, and then I can duplicate it again, but this time I'm going to turn it to 90 degrees. Now you can see there the degrees going around as I'm moving it, so you can make sure that it is exactly right. Again, this is another benefit of Canva. They're trying to make the design process just as easy as possible. So again, repeating the process, so just duplicating and dragging that across. And you can just see there how that's enhanced the picture straight away. Now you could have some pictures like this framed, you could have some that are extended out, and it's entirely up to you how you really want to stage the book. So that's now the third way that you can do. So first way, you've got Canva Free. Second way, you've got Canva Pro. Third way, you've got Creative Fabrica. Now this way, my next way, back to Creative Fabrica, I'm going to show you how you can make your own bespoke pages. So you're going to come across the Spark, head down to Create Art. And in here, we are going to use Creative Fabrica's AI technology to create the exact images that we want. Now, I'm definitely not a pro at this AI technology just yet, but I can definitely see how great it is. So what you would do is just in this box just here, is you would write in whichever prompt you would like. And basically, the more specific you are, the better your search results are going to be. You can see there the bubbles just underneath. They are giving you all the different styles that you could do. So something that we found in the niche video I did recently was the something that was really popular was the cyborgs. So robots crossed with humans, I believe that means. So I'm going to have a look and see if we can create some images around that theme. So let's take a look again, selecting the size that would give us a 4, selecting colouring page. Therefore, it's only going to give us the outline drawings. There might be some darker spells, but that's absolutely fine. We are now placed in a queue, so there's only 8 in front of us. You can see over here, it does say speed up creation, and you can pay for some speed up credits. So if you are doing a lot of different things with the AI technology, that might be something that you want to look into. For me, perhaps not so much. And as you can see, that didn't actually take too long. So here we go. So the cyborg pictures are starting to come up. So I would suggest we've got perhaps quite mixed results. That one there is quite good. I would definitely consider putting that into a book. So let's try and maybe be a little bit more specific and see what else we can come up with. So just adding in here, using maybe blasters, weapons, space blasters. Yeah, we'll see what that comes up with. As I say, I don't know too much about this. Now we're in a queue of 2. You can see we've still got these previous images there, so you can keep hold of them. And now it's generating already. So again, I'd say we've got a couple of images. That's quite a good one just there that could definitely be used. And basically, all you would do is download these and take them across to Canva. So it's absolutely no different. Now, do remember that in the description down below, there is a link to both Canva and Creative Fabrica. So you can get free trials with both of those and also go into your pro memberships. It depends entirely on what you're doing and how you're using it to the kind of membership you'd like. Creative Fabrica have loads of different kinds of memberships. So now we're back in a queue again, 8 again. And what you have to remember, so this AI technology is basically it's pulling all this information. So that's whether or not you're using Creative Fabrica. Canva has also got their own AI text to image technology as well. Whether you're using ChatGPT, DALL-E, Jasper, any of those, everything that is pulled through is basically pulled from what is already on the internet. That they are kind of, I guess, almost making a bit of a mashup of it. So whilst we're on the subject of AI technology, I really want to show you this website here, DALL-E 2. And this is completely free. Also, this kind of lines up really nicely with ChatGPT and is run also by OpenAI. I'll leave a link to this down below, and like I say, it's completely free. So all you need to do is either log in, and once you're in here, you can type in your prompt. So what we'll do is we'll take the exact same prompt that we've put in Creative Fabrica and we'll copy that across over into DALL-E. And therefore we'll be able to see a direct comparison. We should definitely get different results anyway. Okay, so here we go. So yeah, totally different results, totally different style, and I would say more usable. I mean, the first character there is really good. Yeah, I think that's pretty good as well. I would possibly put them both in. This one here looks maybe a bit more childlike. And now we can go through and we can edit it and make it a bit more bespoke. So in exactly the same way that we were doing before. Now it isn't instant. It does take a few moments for it to bring up the pictures because, as I said, it is searching through the internet and that's how it's kind of creating these pictures that are coming up. These are the prompts and that's what came up. So here we go. So these ones are male and female. So possibly might use some of those. The first one's a bit strange. The second one maybe a bit too saucy, but more of a childlike colouring book. The second one is quite good. The third one looks maybe a bit too busy. So I'm just trying now, just typing in lined drawing. And we'll see what that comes up with. There we go. So yeah, I think these are better. I do think the quality of these is better compared to Creative Fabrica. I think probably the difference is that the technology that's being used is better. So, and all you would do here is you can generate. All you would do here is hit the download buttons. Oh, I've just realised I've written in clack instead of black. So we'll see what that comes up with now. So I've also added in for a slightly thicker line. So here we go. So these ones here, they look pretty good. That's pretty good, although the face on the female character is maybe not quite right. Again, this one here is pretty good as well. So you can save it just here, but we can also get the variations. So I'll just click there, and then what it will do is it's going to pull through 4 more designs that will be of a similar style. This is really great if you're trying to build something that's cohesive. If you've got your prompts bang on and you're so happy with what DALL-E is showing you, then this is a great way to kind of build up those colouring pages because every time you do the variations, you're going to get different results. And this can really help you build up your colouring books. Here we go. So as you can see, the first image is the original. And then we've got 4 that are, and basically you can just keep doing that, keep building it up. And yeah, eventually you will get those colouring pages. So I would then save these and take them across to Canva. But next up, we're going to head across to my favourite BookBolt, and I'm going to show you how you can also do your colouring pages over here. As I say, there are so many different ways you can do this. It's ridiculous. So just heading into our BookBolt studio. If you do not currently have a BookBolt account, there is a link for a free day trial down in the description below. If you would like to go ahead with a membership, there's also a 20% off code if you just type in Mrs. D. And what we're going to do is go to our templates. Go to our images, which is just here. Then I'm going to go to Pixabay. And once I'm here, I'm just going to do a search for colouring page. And you'll see here how many different results it brings up. And as you can see, you've got pages that are ranging from, 2 to 4-year-olds all the way up to grown-ups. What you will find a little bit more tricky here is, just trying to maybe create an entirely cohesive book. For example, if you were to stick with the cyborg theme, I think you would struggle in here. So what we're going to create in here is just a nice little fairy tale colouring book for a young girl, so maybe ages 5 to 8. So I found this cute little bedroom scene, and I think what it's missing is just a little character to go along with it. So I'm going to head back into the pages and see if I can find myself a really sweet little character to go in there. So here we go. So this is lovely. And now what I can do is just kind of resize her so that she appears to fit within the image. What I really want you to take away from this is that I'm not actually taking anything at face value. I'm trying to adapt and change everything and make it a bespoke piece of work. I don't want to be compared to other people in terms of what the inside of my book looks like. So what I'm trying to do is just try and make it unique the best that I can, really. So now we'll head on to the next page, as that's the first page complete. And again, back to our colouring pages, and let's have a look. Maybe if I could find like a nice little fairy castle, that would be quite sweet. Yeah, perfect. I mean, you could carry that same character through. You could even type in the wording again like we did earlier. So it's just important that we, make it right, make it our own, and you can't go too far wrong with that. So what we'll do now is we'll go and focus a little bit more on the cover and how you can put that together. But essentially it's really similar to other videos that I have done in the past. I'm going to just first of all change the cover opacity and hide it so that I can change the background cover. So I've just made it pink. I'm going to pop in some text. I'm going to start off by trying perhaps circular text, as it just seems quite fun and playful, I suppose. And just another little note that I wanted to point out is that if you have got BookBolt, one of the benefits of it is that it automatically resizes your cover depending on the number of pages that you've got. If you do this with Canva, say for example, create a 100-page colouring book, then you would need to work out the size of your cover, which isn't hard to do. There is a free resource to do that, but it is just an additional calculation. So you could even save your images that you get from Dali or Creative Fabrica and pull them across. So what I'm going to do is just see if I can try and find like a nice cloud or something like that. So I'm just heading over back to Pixabay, and I want something a bit clip arty, a bit fun, a bit cute. So nothing realistic at all, as it really needs to fit in with this cover. Here we go. So this one here is absolutely perfect. That's exactly what I'm after. And then I might just try and put the words within that. I feel like that'll be quite sweet. And just to reorder there at the size, I'm just dragging and dropping it into the order that I want. So the composition, it's not quite right just there. I'll try and make it smaller and play around. So I'm just going to adjust the angle of the circular text. So just hitting there circular and just dragging the radius just so I can try and get less of a curve, just to make sure that it looks a bit better. I think it does look better, but I'm still not entirely happy with it, to be honest. So I'm going to have a go at just changing around the text a little bit more. So if I take out colouring book, maybe the fairy tale stays a bit curved. So I'm going to leave the title for now, and I'm going to go and work on the picture a little bit more. So I'm kind of imagining like rainbow with a fairy castle in the background. So I'm going to have a look and see what I can find back on Pixabay, see if there's something that kind of fits with the aesthetic of the book that I'm trying to create. And there we go. So that's really nice, really sweet, quite playful. We've got the clouds that tie in quite nicely as well. So just trying to find its right position right now. And I find that when I'm working through, I'm just kind of constantly adjusting and changing things, because what I think might work right now might not necessarily work in the end. So you do need to have a bit of an open mind. So I'm just wondering now, if I were to duplicate that cloud, if that would kind of tie the rainbow in a little bit better with that title image. So how about if I make it bigger? So I think I've decided that I don't love the rainbow. So I'm just going to go back in and try and find something else a bit more suitable. So I'm going to have a look for the fairy castle, which I guess was my initial idea. And if I'm going for the fairy tale theme, that might work really nicely. So let's take a look through and see what we can find. Something that wouldn't be out of place within a colouring book. So obviously all of these kind of realistic ones, they're just not going to work for me. So I'll try Princess Castle instead and see if that brings me up some better results. Okay, so here's one that is really nice. So we've got the pink castle just there. It's really quite sweet. I like that it's a line drawn castle. It's also got a bit of a painted feel, but I'm not feeling that the back cover is necessarily working for it. So I'm just going to work through and try some different colours. I don't want it to jar, and I don't want it to feel as though it's a bit too sickly sweet. So what I'm going to do is just add in another text box so that I can type in their colouring book. And then I'll have a play around with the text and see what I can do with it, where I can put it. So already this is looking so much better, but I'm just going to come back and work on the colour of the book again, because I'm still not entirely happy with the colour. So next up, we are going to add in a rectangle, and this is going to frame a little bit of text where we're just going to give a little bit more information about who the book is for. So I'm just going to resize it, pop it down at the bottom of the page so that then I can just add in a little bit of text and just pop in there the age range that I'm after. Then from here, I can just play about with positioning, change the colour, and just make it look a bit more cohesive and as though it's part of the book. And now I'm just going to tinker around with some fonts and some placements, get everything on the front cover looking just right, and then we can turn our attention to the back cover. So for the back cover, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show examples of what is inside of our book. So I'm essentially going to take these pictures and then place them over onto the back cover, and I'll then frame them, make it look all nice, resize it. Because I've only got 2 pictures, what I will do is I'll just duplicate those pictures for the sake of this video, but obviously normally you would have 4, maybe 6 different pictures, or you could go 2 larger. It really is up to you. Sometimes people don't actually demonstrate. What they do is they just put on a bit of text on the back, but I'm actually just going to add in another little box, just kind of frame it, put exactly what they would put on the back, but it just, as you can see, it just creates a little bit of extra interest. And now I'll just put there within the box a little bit of text, just detailing how many pages I've got and what it's for. And there we have it. So that is our cover complete, and we have been through so many different ways today that you can create colouring books. But this, I'm really happy with it, and I think it looks great. If you now know which way you're going to go with your colouring book, then please leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear how you're going to create it. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I cannot wait to see you all next time. See you then. Bye.